Previously on Quantum Break.
Well, I was starting to think seeing a pretty lady like you was too much to hope for. How about you get me out of this chair?
Stop squirming. And you're gonna need this.
I appreciate it.
My cover isn't gonna survive the night, but it'll last a little longer.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh. Oh, that is cool. Get freaking decked. Woo! Oh, what the crap is that?
You could have warned me about that one, Beth.
Get freaking decked. Yeah. I shot you in the crotch. How's it feel?
Jack,
Oh.
the local security network just split up. They know you're there.
Ah. Open.
What is that? It's like I'm being drained.
Here. Shut that down. You're a striker? No, you're a juggernaut. Jeez.
These things were designed by walking tanks.
They weren't for you. Don't flatter yourself.
What is up, ApexReaper here? Welcome back to more Quantum Break, where things are weird. This is definitely not how I left the game. Things are definitely weird. We're supposed to find Dr. Admiral and pick up... Oh, okay. It's fixed. And pick up a chronon harness for Beth. Oh. Oh, my powers aren't working here.
No alarms. Looks like nobody here knows about the mess I made on the way in. Nice job, Beth.
Where am I supposed to go? I'm supposed to go that way. So what's down here? What up, dudes? We can go this way. Ooh, there's computers down here, too. Okay. Can I get in there? I don't know how. Oh, we have something here.
Guns made to operate in a stutter. Paul had clear priorities. When time ends, guns don't.
It's actually kind of a good point. Why do we need guns? Can't you just take one of these backpacks?
It was technology that allowed people to move inside a stutter.
But too heavy to carry, I assume.
That's why I had to find the lighter model in Amaral's office.
Ah, that explains it.
I knew I couldn't leave the offices before locating Dr. Amaral.
Oh, pipe down. That's what you just told me right there. Is you can't leave until you actually do your objective. Where was it? Climb. Oh, it's right there. Aha! What? No. Take it. 7 out of 8. How do I get over there? That way. Gotcha. I'm still supposed to go over there. But over here, there's computers and what have yous. I thought there was computers. Oh, over there. Nothing here. There's one here. We got a couple. We got a few. What's up, girl? Okay. To Fiona from Charlie. So I had a dream about you last night. Definitely a weird starter. I wasn't anything bad, don't worry. It was just pretty weird. Let's just say that if you had a second mouth hidden under your arm that keeps on insisting that the internal stock market's being controlled by the Pittsburgh Steelers, this would be a really good time to tell me. What? I mean, I don't usually have premonitions or anything. I don't believe in that crap. But just the same, I hate for that one to turn out to be true. Sorry, my throat. Oh, and also, that mouth eats nothing but sausages. Real chompy, chomp style. So you know, there's probably nothing fruiting happen here. Just want you to know what you're up to. Jesus, Charlie. I could tell that you're a man of great sophistication. Did you major in smooth talk or... Actually, hey, speaking of education, I heard rumors about that op coming up at the university. I know you know because you always know about that sort of stuff. Sounds pretty serious. What's that all about? Well, as far as the university thing goes, I can't really talk about that. I mean, yeah, obviously I know. I'm like the first person they talk to about something like that, but it's classified. I sure wouldn't put that down in an email. So maybe you should just come down and talk to me, you know. If I was free to talk about it, which I obviously am not, bring food. Seriously, I can't talk about it. I don't even want to know how you know about it. But you should still bring me food, not sausages. Don't make this weird. Charlie. Well, that explains why she brought him food. Mug. Check out Burke's contacts. Who's he working with? There's 17 things in this? Okay, 2 intel. But 17 things in this? Holy crap. Oh, look, there's one here. How'd I miss this? I came in this room. I looked. How come I missed that? Multiple? Multiple. 1. Hello! I have just been informed that the time machine core we obtained from the university has reached Monarch HQ safely and is currently being installed into the new time machine corridor system we have constructed there. As you know, wrong stick. As you know, the core of the time machine is a time machine. Okay, the core of the time machine is the time machine. The corridor around it is merely the user interface. This means, of course, that once the installation work is complete, we have effectively moved the time machine from the university to the Monarch HQ. That said, we don't intend to use it. Let me repeat that. There is no current plans to use the time machine. We are not sure how safe it would be to use, given that its initial activation has caused the fracture. I personally believe that now that the core has been activated, further use would be safe. But make no mistake, this is a hypothesis, not a proven fact. We know that the machine taps into the universal Mayor Joyce field. And somehow, that connection has caused a fracture in the field. Apparently because of a misconfiguration. That was all the enemy's fault, not my brother's fault. We are looking into the specifics, but until we know for sure, it would be irresponsible to use the machine. However, having it in place gives us a degree of control. It allows us, in an emergency, to travel backwards. Although we obviously can go no further than the time of its activation, last night, or forwards as might be required. Obviously, being fully secured at our building's restricted area on the top floor also means that nobody else can use the machine. I have to reiterate that the only person who may authorize the use of the machine is Paul Serene, the jerk. I do not have that authority. Martin Hatch does not have that authority. The only person who does is Mr. Serene. He takes this issue very seriously, and I strongly suggest you do the same. Sophia. Okay, well, I'm going to walk over there and grab a drink. Alright. There, hopefully that helps my throat. Oh, we got a thing here. Gull Island Monarch Notice Board. Friday social, do not use radio tower entrance as a smoking area. Chrono text wanted. Please return all used cups to the kitchen. What? Return your cups so no one has to die. Wow, there's a real cup issue in the office. Alright, what do we got over here?
Now,
Quiet.
look. It's just math.
Alright. Ooh. Ooh, this one might be really good. Oh my god, you're really annoying. Oh, wow. Really? That's super annoying.
Time we're gonna have. Literally.
You done? Good. That was really annoying. Paul Serene has become preoccupied with the appearance of Jack Joyce. He has put aside his engagements at tonight's gala in order to focus on some feeble attempt to convert Jack to our cause. Don't call me feeble, jerk. This distraction presents us with the perfect opportunity to push our agenda. Tonight, we send Monarch into a state of chaos. Tonight, we ensure Paul Serene's downfall. What? You send this to Clarice, huh? I have managed to convince Paul to allow me to deliver the gala speech on his behalf. You didn't convince. He said you can do it. Creating the perfect cover. Steps are as follow. Gala shooting. I will deliver Paul's speech at the gala very soon. I have arranged for an inside source to fire shots in my direction from a vantage point halfway through the speech. Narrowly missing me on stage, this will throw the gala into pandemonium and destabilize Monarch to a point where Paul's authority and control of the situation will be called into question. More immediately, it will force Monarch to initiate security measures that will lead to Sophia Admiral being locked into the nearby Monarch villa for her protection. Drone sabotage. Setson will recalibrate drone A7's flight pattern and cause it to crash directly into the villa, killing Sophia Admiral and therefore removing Paul Serene's only means of developing the treatments necessary for her sickness. Good news for you. He doesn't care about the treatments. He knows they're not going to work. He's seen this all, dude. Treatment lab demolition. In the aftermath of Admiral's death, I will head an investigation that will allow me to gain access to Dr. Kim's lab, where the entry of Paul's treatments are kept entirety. Demolition charges will be planted, and every single treatment will be destroyed. With no further treatment forthcoming, Paul will be rendered helpless. With the stutters happening more and more often, I predict that Paul's sickness will take hold within 6 hours of these events. Only then will we make our final move. Wow. What a jerk. I mean, I don't like Paul, but this guy. What up, dude? You tripped? Sucks to be you. Anything in here? Aha! Oh, from Fiona to Beth. To Beth from Fiona. Yeah, okay. I just get word that Jack Joyce is in Monarch custody. Walked right into the mansion on Gull Island and gave himself up. What are you up to? What you up to? If you want my help from the inside, then I need to know what's going on, Fiona. Yeah, oops. I'm sure you noticed that things didn't exactly go according to plan at Ground Zero. It seems like a running theme tonight. Can't go into details how now, but we found something that I believe is a key to retrieving the countermeasure. The solution is in sight, but we need to kidnap Sophia Admiral to get it to work. Nice. Jack gave himself up as part of his plan to get him inside. I'm on my way to release him so he can get to Admiral. A poor man's Trojan horse. Desperate time, desperate matters. What's your status? Any update on the Dr. Kim lead? We may need your help from the inside to pull this off. Any chance you can lower security in and around the R&D facility? Our plans might actually overlap for once. I'm going to attempt to access Dr. Kim's lab tonight during the gala to find out if he knew about the countermeasure. I still think that's our strongest lead. However, if I get inside, I should be able to shut down some of the security measures from inside. The problem is getting inside that lab might prove to be a long shot. Couldn't get a hold of Admiral's key, so I sort of resorted to shameless flirting in order to find a means in. I'm going to the gala as Charlie Westcourt's date in hopes that he can get me inside. That's if I can hold back from punching out the douche for that long. Wow. Consider this a test of restraint. I know what you think. Jack is the key to obtaining the countermeasure, but the evidence is really stacking up that Dr. Kim knew something about the device. All the research he did in that lab is classified. They're hiding something big in there. I'll let you know what I find. I'd warn you that your plan on the island sounds reckless, but I'm sure you're fully aware. Keep in mind, the minute Dr. Admiral goes missing, the entirety of Monarch is going to be hunting you down. She's the only thing keeping Serene alive. He won't let her go without a fight. Keep safe. That's cool, but also your email was hacked by this guy or something. He was monitoring it. What's this one? Multiple? One. People. It appears we have been overtaken by events, and you have to adjust our plans accordingly. As you are no doubt aware, we now have Jack Joyce in custody. He gave himself up earlier today as Mr. Serene has personal interest in Joyce and the information he might have. He will be interrogating him at the detention center on the island. Unfortunately, this means that Mr. Serene cannot be there for the speech he was scheduled to give at the gala event tonight, so I'll have to stand in for him. I have some new security requirements pertaining to that, but I will discuss those with specific individuals in person. Furthermore, be aware that in addition to Joyce, we also have Liam Brooke held at the detention center. Despite his long service to Monarch, Brooke is now to be considered hostile. He has already done quite a bit of damage to us. I shouldn't have to say this, but just to be absolutely clear, any orders given to him should be ignored. Given by him. Please ensure that Joyce is ready for Mr. Serene. Also, please bear in mind that Joyce is chronon active and extremely dangerous. He has given himself up voluntarily, so it's entirely possible he doesn't intend to cause trouble. But let's make sure we're prepared if he does. We don't know his motives, and I would not put it past him to use his surrender as a means to extract a hidden agenda. Martin Hatch. The super bad guy. Is this the one I want to go to? I think so. So we'll save that one for last, because that's where the thingamajigger is. Save that one for last. Let's go over here and work our way that way. Let's go in here. Oh, great. Wait, woman playing Alan Wake. Wow, that's annoying. You really gotta be out of my hearing distance. One? Okay, one. Okay. Oh, come on. Whatever, I'm reading over her. Greetings! It has been brought to my attention that there is some confusion as to the reason for the upcoming evening gala on Gull Island. I understand that some feeling that such a celebration is brutalist, whatever, even misguided. In the afternoon of last night's events at Riverport University, and now present steady advancing fraction time. These concerns are understandable, but they are missing the bigger picture. Monarch's solution is now entering a phase in which its true purpose will be fulfilled. We have finally arrived at the moment for which we have spent years preparing. The purpose of this event is twofold. First of all, for those of you who select to be part of Lifeboat Protocol as scientists, technicians, support personnel, or in some other role, it will be important to see and hear Paul Serene. Continued confidence in the survival program is vital for the continuous survival of Monarch. And ultimately, the human race itself. This is particularly important given recent events. We need to present a desirable and reassuring countermeasure to the sacrifices we had to make. Naturally, not everyone at the party will be among the chosen few, so a certain degree of informational hygiene will be required. I trust you will ensure that those reporting to you are informed precisely to the degree necessary. Secondly, for all our autonomy and vast resources, Monarch is not functioning independent from the rest of the society. In order for our plans to succeed, we will need support and cooperation of the authorities and numerous business partners. Even the quiet. I lost it. and numerous business partners, even though they don't know our true goals, a demonstration of power and confidence, as well as certain whatever investments of currency and influence, will go a long way towards securing that support. Our PR blitz has been working well, but in order to maintain momentum, we must maintain an amicable relationship with Riverport's leadership. Our entire approach is based on the idea of monarchs stepping in to assist the authorities and being welcomed by citizens and city admiration alike. Sound should the latter words suddenly declare monarchs help unwanted or unsanctioned, our entire strategy could collapse in just a few hours. That would be disastrous to our plans. In conclusion, this is a tremendously important event for the future of Monarch Solution and for the future itself. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, Marnatch. I think this email is a lie. Yeah. I'm going to call that one a lie. Okay, can I have short emails?
Office.
Can I have short emails now? Okay, which one is the one I'm supposed to go to? That one. Okay, so we'll use these ones first.
The Admiral had tried to warn Paul. The end of time was approaching quickly, less than 24 hours away.
Mr. Serene believed it would take years to run its course. Admittedly, he was wrong.
Oh, I thought that would go longer. Let's take a drink. Sophia, as promised in our last session, I am not going to transcribe what I recall from my dreams. I still have doubts that the exercise will help alleviate my symptoms, but I'm willing to explore the idea further if you truly believe in its merit. For someone who is not a medical doctor, let alone a mental health profession, you seem to take great interest in my thoughts. Not that I don't appreciate it. Here's my first attempt. I recall a haunted image of 7 red doors. Each door had a wrought iron handle that was dripping liquid metal onto the ground, creating a pool in the middle of the room. I looked down into the aqueous metal glow at my feet and see my own glimmering reflection, revealing that I had aged half a lifetime. Startled, I looked back up to discover that only one door remained. Jack Joyce stood in front of me, and the heat of the room was overwhelming. Jack was sweating profusely, his skin red and peeling open. He begged me to take him back home, but there was no door leading home. I opened the only door left and entered, discovering that we were back in the same room we had just exited. He refused to come to terms with this and opened the door again. I followed him, over and over, as he desperately opened the doors, forever leading us back to where we started. The heat grew, and he howled in pain, begging to know why I made the other doors disappear, and why there's only one path. He begged me to bring the other doors back. He begged me to take him home. The iron pool burst into flames. Jack screamed in agony. I grabbed him, told him that we needed to learn to endure the heat, to embrace the flame. I knew it would come to pass eventually, but the only way to survive it was to accept its inevitability. My body began swaying rapidly, dancing to the movement of the flames around me until my bones faded out of existence and I surrendered to the fire until we were one and the same. I was no longer one being in one place at a time. My life force spread evenly across the flames until I was no longer an individual in one body, but a grander shifting entity. I could feel Jack being consumed within my essence. I felt the power within the heat, a clarity of intent. I forgot about my desire to ever return from the flames, because a body that once desired to return was lost forever. I became the very thing that I entered, and it became me, a cynical fury chasing itself, Ouroboros. I woke up in a cold sweat. I quickly wrote down the words that poisoned my mouth in that moment. Delmore Schwartz was right. Time is the fire. That's kind of interesting, actually. With Jack Joyce in our custody, I thought it relevant to forward you a message you sent me years ago. Do not underestimate the significance he holds in your life. I understand your concern that he was reluctant to accept the inevitability of what is coming. However, when he sees the whole picture, he'll have no choice but to believe. We all had our doubts once. You showed us the light. Give him time. Don't be long. No, you're not that long. We looked at the preliminary, that word, data on the frequency and severity of the shudders and crunched the numbers, and the results are alarming. Our original projection, which gave us years until the fracture reached the point where the time breaks down completely, does not match up with the progression of shudders we are experiencing. Put simply, the shudders are happening more and more frequently, clearly indicating that the Mayor Joyce field is breaking down much faster than we thought. Taking the rate of acceleration, we can hypothesize that we might have as little as 24 hours until we reach the end of time, or to the point in which time stops. It no longer starts up again. We do not know why the original projection was wrong, and why that data, which we consider reliable, coming as it does from Mr. Serene, seem to be entirely contradict our current findings. Regardless, the main issue seemed clear. In order to achieve Monarch Solutions' stated goals, the lifeboat protocol should be activated ASAP. Is that talking about the formula that Will fixed? I kind of think it is. Don't be long. Oh my god! Alright, it's no exaggeration to say that the Chronon Field Regulator, or the CFR, is the heart of all Monarch technology advances. It has taken on somewhat maniacal quality, given its origin and the vital role it plays in the lifeboat protocol, but in actuality, the CRF applications are very practical. This is not to say the CRF hasn't had a course-altering impact on the work. On the work Monarch Solution does, it's been hugely influential in the department of both the shutterproofing technology that allows us to shield large areas from the effects of zero state, enabling time to flow within them even as it stops everywhere else, as well as a smaller personalized application of the same technology, the portable Chronon harness that allows our soldiers and technicians to operate freely within the stutters. We think of Dr. Henry Kim as the father of all this technology, and deservingly so. But for all his brilliance, it was his dedication to uncovering the secrets of the CFR that allowed him to make his breakthroughs. Despite Dr. Kim's hard work, the CRS functionality is still not fully understood, and we have not been able to replicate the device. Having more than one of them would obviously be greatly advantageous to us, but we find ourselves in precarious position where in order to fully investigate it, we'd have to take it apart. Given its immense power, such an undertaking would pose obvious risk. Perhaps even more importantly, there's no guarantee that we'll be able to put it back together again. Given it's vital to the implementation of the lifeboat protocol, our policy is to leave it intact. We do know, however, that the CRF can not only store an immense amount of Chronon particles, it can also tap into Mayor Joyce's field and with great precision manipulate it. It's this unique ability that our own Chronon technology replicates. Albeit as far less control and efficient, but also what makes the lifeboat protocol a reality by itself. Our shutterproofing technology is powerful and reliable, but its rate of Chronon particle consumption is high, and its increase at an alarming rate as we widen the volume of space and shutterproofing covers. This would, on the face of it, make the shutterproofing a very temporary solution indeed, one that perhaps buy us some subjective weeks once we enter a permanent zero state, but would ultimately only delay the inevitable. Last paragraph. However, the CFR changes all that. When the permanent shutterproofing installed on the lifeboat does not seem like a right sentence. Indeed, the very shutterproofing that makes the lifeboat in the first place is directed by the CFR. The system becomes vastly more efficient. Our chronon particles consumption is reduced to about 1% of what it otherwise would be, given that chronon particles are hard to source, even at our ground zero installation, and our stockpiles are decidedly limited. This means that the CRF makes the difference between lifeboat being a temporary stopgap solution to a very long-term undertaking that hopefully allows us to inevitably find a solution to the end of time. Oh, don't be long. Oh my god, it's long. Do I care enough? No. Oh, let's just talk about Shifter. Maybe I do care. I'm going to read this one. Yeah. I was looking at it. I'm like, do I care? I'm going to grab a drink. This is a lot of reading. All right. Slide 1. Much of what we know about the shifters is theoretical, based on observation made by Mr. Serene, and the limited experimentation we have been able to conduct on the only subject we have managed to capture. They do not seem to have a stable physical presence. Rather, the data we are gathering appears to be fragmented and contradictory. As if they were countless variations of the subject occupying the same space, our current theory is that they somehow exist in a pre-existent state of quantum superposition. Or, to put it another way, with our references to the famous Schwarzenegger's cat, without experiment, the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. The full mechanics implication of this exceeds our current understanding, but on a practical level, it seems to make it highly resistant to injury. It appears that even if the shifter encounters deadly force, it may kill one of its aspects. But because it exists as multiple iterations of itself, including iterations that were not killed by the force, it doesn't stop. Current theory suggests that the only way to stop a shifter is to cause its wave function to collapse from the superposition to a single is-in state. In particular terms, the shifter must be afflicted with deadly force enough times for it to run out a healthy version of itself. As such, direct confrontation with a shifter would be a last resort. That's good to know, actually. Holy crap, that's good to know. Slide number 2. Contact with a shifter is extremely dangerous. We know that they are essentially mobile repositories of vast amounts of chronon particles and that they only exist in a zero state, an area which has been depleted of chronon particles, typically a fault in the Mayer-Joyce field that encompasses the universe. Words. Colloquially. We refer to these as stutters. In time, we also know that shifters are hostile to any source of chronon particles other than themselves within stutters, so any chronon-active individuals within a stutter may find themselves targeted by shifters. It appears that movement in stutters, by which we mean the very movement of particles within a space in which time flows, not merely the movement of an individual, disrupts them, and they respond with considerable aggression. As discussed previously, shifters are extremely resistant to damage. They are also quite physically formidable, but their biggest threat is the distortion field around them. Its exact nature is unknown, but we know it warps the properties of the space surrounding them, exerting great physical stress and unpredictable force on its surrounding. Again, in particular terms, close proximity to a shifter may be fatal even if no actual physical contact takes place. That's good to know too. Slide 3. The shutterproofing technology Monarch solution has advanced, offers solid protection against shifters. Time flows normally within the shutterproof area, so shifters simply cannot exist within them. Therefore, as long as shutterproofing remains active, shifters are not a problem. However, shutterproofing of large outside areas is not feasible. Given our chronon particle budget, we had developed other technologies to defend against shifters, the chronon dampeners. I want one. A chronon dampener works by annihilating free floating chronon particles within a specified area. As shifters form are hypersaturated within chronon particles, they cannot enter an area in which a chronon dampener is active without their wave function collapsing. Therefore, our operatives in the field have a solid portable defense against shifters. Our technology is shielded against the dampener's effects, so activities and shutters undertaken by our strikers and other operatives are not hindered. However, in an unfortunate side effect, the dampeners have a crippling effect on individuals who are chronon active without the aid of technology. Oops, that's us. I don't want one anymore. Accordingly, should Mr. Serene be present, you should always make him aware of your intentions before activating a dampener. You may rest assured that dampeners are not powerful enough to do actual physical harm to Mr. Serene, whose systems consistently produce new chronon particles to replace the ones that are lost, but as a dampener's effects are unpleasant and such an encounter is likely to lead to an awkward conversation about future career prospects. That's kind of funny. Okay, give me this.
That there looks like what Beth wanted. Oh, shit. Emerald's at the party. The stutter won't last. I better find a way out of here and get to the party.
Yeah, well, I read enough for this episode. I am going to call it here, and next episode we're going to go find the party thing and all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a lot of reading. I'm sorry. But if you did, hit that thumbs up button and show your support. If you're new and you haven't subscribed for more content, feel free to share this video and comment down below. And until next time, I'm ApexReaper. You all stay positive. Thanks for watching.
Afraid of the dark.